What's going on, everybody? I don't even know what day it is anymore, Mike. What day is it today?
It's Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Everybody's burnt out on tacos. It was Cinco de Mayo on Friday, so everybody already got the
All
fill.
right, we're gonna name it TK Tuesday.
Yeah. How about we name it TK's Monday? Because technically that's what it is. It is technically my Monday.
And TK gets Mondays off, so
Monday's off
day
till further notice. And I can tell you one thing, it's going to spoil the crap out of me because the kids are still in school right now. So, like, Monday, I'm like, what do I do with myself? You know, it's like I got all this time and kids are doing their schoolwork. Wife is working with them. And it's just little old me hanging out, drinking coffee. And I did get to take my daughter to a soccer game last night. That was pretty fun. Went out there and watched her play, and they almost won. The other team scored in the last 10 seconds of the game. It was a tie, and it was close. It was a good game. Fun times. How you doing, Mike?
I am doing pretty good. Had a nice weekend away.
Nice.
So came back to a busy day yesterday, but it was a good weekend. Went away to a quaint little town up in Wisconsin for a wedding. Kind of a boring wedding, but it was all good.
Yeah. Did y'all stay the night up there?
Yeah, and then we on our way back we went and found this quaint little town that was the neatest little town up in Wisconsin, and we stopped at a winery thinking that that's all we were going to do is do this winery thing, and it ended up being the whole town, and for like a mile long strip, it was like all the really old buildings were all restored, and every building in that town was restored and like really nice. It wasn't run down. It was like all these mills and stuff from early 1900s, late 1800s were all there, and along the river. It was pretty cool. The winery was in an old they called it a woolery, where they used to make socks and everything for the war in the 40s. And they had all the stuff still in there hanging from the ceiling. It was pretty neat. Pretty good winery too. So
yeah. That's fun. I like doing those different types of, little brewery, winery type tours. I haven't done a bunch of it, but it is fun.
I think it was Cedarburg, Wisconsin. So if you're ever in around Cedarburg, yeah. It was really cool.
Heard of it.
Or Cedar Creek, maybe. Something like that.
Cedar Creek.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. But anyway, how was your weekend down at the River House?
It's nice. We got some work done on my partner's river house and hung out with Austin and Ethan and a buddy of mine from high school that we've kept in touch with over the years. He was the brains behind the operation. We were down there replacing all the fascia board on the river house and, just hanging out with the fellas. Adam's checking in this morning. They're taking all of the old buildings up here and turning them into new things. They completely redid our downtown. You should have came up about another hour and said hi. Okay, so that's where Adam is.
Oh, okay.
You weren't too far from Adam.
Yeah, I was in Sheboygan Falls. Is where we were at.
Sheboygan.
Sheboygan Falls is just north of Sheboygan.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pray us up, buddy. Then we'll get into this verse, and then we'll talk about the top mistakes service companies make, which is a great topic, by the way, that you came up with, Mike. I like that one. So let's pray.
All right.
Lord, thank you so much for this day, and thank you for the opportunity to get together and spend a little time in the morning getting our hearts right and our thoughts right and focused on the day, focused on you, focused on loving others, and help us as business owners and technicians and fathers and husbands and followers of you to do our best and trust in you when we fall short. We thank you for your grace and your mercy, and just continue to bless this day. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So this verse popped up. Mike came up with the topic, and I was trying to think of a verse that would go along with it. And everybody knows I'm a Proverbs guy. But I was thinking about this verse, Proverbs 24:16. It says, "The godly may trip 7 times, but they will get up again. But one disaster is enough to overthrow the wicked." The King James Version says, "For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief." I'll say this. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall. You're going to stumble. You're going to make the wrong choice in business. It's just going to happen. Whether it's a big one or a small one or an accumulation of big ones and small ones. You're going to make mistakes, but the key thing is that you're living your life in such a way that you can get up and keep moving. You know, that you're living your life in such a way that you don't give up. You know that this is what you're supposed to be doing. And you're living your life in such a way that you can just get up and keep going and learn from your mistakes, people. Learn from your mistakes and learn from the mistakes of those people around you. Because I can tell you right now, I've only been in business for less than 10 years, but I've made a lot of freaking mistakes, dude. Like a ton of mistakes. And as I was saying to Mike, you know, hindsight's 2020. Talk to business owners that are further down the path because they see the mistakes they made, and they're going to share them with you. They're going to say, "Man, make sure you do this. Make sure you do that." But mistakes are inevitable, but learn from yours and learn from those around you. But
by the time you're 10 years in, like TK, you don't make mistakes anymore.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you got it all figured out. Once you get to my point, you're 10 years in.
That's the tipping point. That's the finish line for the mistake train.
Now I feel like mine are on a daily basis now. It's just more and more mistakes. I feel like I said this last week, I think when we got off, but I feel like a lot of what I do now is damage control. Like I was talking to Austin about it the other day, and like if we add 2 more techs, one of us is going to be full-time damage control, like just going behind people. Like we don't even get that many recalls, but the more guys you add on, the more recalls you get, and and it's not always even recalls. It's just BS, broken parts or parts broken in the box or bad right from the manufacturer. Just all these little things that tie up your time. So
it's not even damage control. It's just babysitting.
Yeah.
It's like you got all these things to babysit, not people, but things.
Yeah, exactly.
Situations, that we all deal with that. You're not alone there. I deal with it every day.
It's part of it's par for the course, man. You just you gotta realize that it's gonna happen and move forward and not let it slow you down. But I made a little list. We can chat about some of the ones on my list, and Mike, you're welcome to share any of yours. But I made a little list of the top mistakes home service companies make in their business, and this was number 1 for me. The first one I wrote down was growing too fast as a company. I know this is a mistake made because not only have I done it, but I've seen a lot of service company owners do it. You get out there, you start making a little bit of money, you start making a little bit of, profit, and you're ready to grow. You're ready to scale your business, hire technicians, hire, office staff, and hire all these different people. Make sure you're ready. Make sure you're ready. If you are not running your one-man show like a well-oiled machine, then wait. If you haven't saved up a significant amount of money for that rainy day, that emergency fund, as I like to call it, then you're not ready. Because when you start adding on to your team, you're no longer just responsible for you. You're responsible for other people's livelihood. My guys are going to get paid before me and Austin get paid, no matter what. And when you start taking on guys and you're not ready for it, you may end up having to lay off guys during slow seasons. You may have to start doing things that you didn't plan on doing originally. So just make sure you're ready. Mike, you got anything you want to add on that one?
I mean, it's a lot of people jump in both feet first. And like you said, you better, before you scale, start adding a bunch of people, you better have all your ABCs and I's and T's dotted and crossed. But what I see is a lot of people go into it without a plan. Like they don't have contingencies set up. They didn't talk to other people who have done it and gone where they want to go and, seek that counsel in the proper way. That's where I see a lot of people failing when they grow. So if you're looking to grow, make sure you seek counsel from somebody else who is at where you want to be. Because if we could all look into a crystal ball, having those people who have already gone through all that, they are your crystal ball. They can help you, navigate some of that stuff. They can help you look out for, the mistakes that they've made. So it's an easier way to dodge things. It doesn't mean that it's going to be a swifter, easier path to get to, because anything can get thrown at us. But that's basically what I've found through a couple of years of doing business.
Yeah. Well, it's so true, man. And there's a lot of people that are extremely motivated to grow. And I don't want to discourage anybody if that's your motivation. My word to the wise is this: if you're going to grow, do it smart. If you don't have your procedures in place, if you don't have your accounting and bookkeeping in place, if you can't do it, think about it like this. You're a one-man operation now. The procedures and the things that you do on a daily basis are going to change significantly once you add guys to the mix. And once you go from one man to two men is going to change. Then you go to 2 to 3 men, it's going to change. And the more you add, the more it's going to change. So it's much easier. It's been much easier for me to have a base foundation of what I do written out and then build upon it. It's much easier to go back and revise something that you're doing and say, all right, this is how we're doing it. We've been doing that a lot lately, going back and revising procedures. We just added a new procedure at the store with gathering customer info because we weren't gathering customer info properly. So I'm having to retrain everybody that works on the store on that. But it's so much easier to go back and change those things when you have your template and and what you started off doing. All right, we're doing it this way. Now we need to change it. And then the second part that I added to that was the accounting and bookkeeping. Do not even attempt, don't even go another day if you do not have accounting and bookkeeping services in place. Unless you are an accountant, which if you're an accountant and you're doing appliance repair or something in the service industry, that's interesting. I'd like to hear about it. But if you're a service guy, most likely bookkeeping and accounting isn't your strong point. So get you a good accountant, get you a good bookkeeper. It'd be nice if they're the same person. I recently, literally just last week, hired a new bookkeeper, and I'm super excited about getting her on. She's a super nice lady. She was actually referred to me by my accountant. But get that accountant and bookkeeping set up. I felt like this went without saying, Mike, but I think I need to say it. Make sure you have the proper insurance. I got guys on Facebook posting stuff about establishing their LLC and getting business insurance, and they've been running service calls for years, as far as I can tell. Like from their Facebook page, it looks like you've been running service calls on your own for years, and now you're popping up asking about how to get insurance and how to get an LLC started. You're doing it backwards, my friend. That should have been step number one. You shouldn't run your first service call until you have the improper auto insurance and general liability insurance, etc.
Number one thing, cover your ass.
Cover your ass. Amen. Like, there's 10 people listening, and probably another 75 to 100 will listen later. If you're listening to this and you are running service calls without business and without general liability insurance and auto insurance, stop it right now and go get some. You are a disaster waiting to happen. You're making a huge mistake. I didn't even think it was worth saying, but then I thought about how many of these posts I've seen of these dudes that have been running service calls for years, and all of a sudden they're establishing an LLC and looking to get insurance. Don't do it. You're not a business without insurance, and you're whether you're a sole proprietorship or an LLC, that's up to you, but don't go out there and be a jackleg and tear somebody's crap up. This is one that I didn't mention, Mike, but I thought it would be good to hear from a marketing standpoint. What marketing mistakes do a lot of service company owners make, do you think? Wasting money on certain types of marketing, etc.
Yeah, a huge thing is putting money into things that aren't fruitful. That's probably in a nutshell what it is. But I see people making this mistake every single day, and that's just not having a good website or not having a website at all. I am shocked at how many, appliance repair and HVAC people and, service industries of all kinds that are just linking to a Facebook page, and a Facebook page that's not active and that doesn't even have, anything on it. There's no info really there. So when I see that stuff, it's like, man, do I even want to do business with those types of people? Because they just don't care. From my point of view, it's like they just don't care. And there's businesses out there that I'll research online because I need to do business with them. And when I see them linking to a Facebook page or even the free Google business page, website that comes with your Google business profile, I see those, and I'm like, I would never do business with this company because they obviously don't care about their company. So therefore, why should I do business with them? I'm a little biased in that end, but that's kind of the way I see it. If
Yeah.
you're not if you're not going to present your company in a professional way, then what makes me want to do business with you? What makes you think if you don't care about yourself as a business, why should you? I think that you're going to care about me as a customer. That's exactly the real way I see it.
Yeah. It's all about first impressions.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times that website, and I'm the guilty party here. Mike's working on my website as we speak. That website oftentimes is the first impression that customer is going to get. You know, he's going to go to your website. He's going to see you on Google or whatever. He's going to click on the link. He's going to go to your website, and that's going to be the first impression. So when you look at your website, and for me, it was obvious. My website sucked. Mike's getting it rolling now. It's looking good, but you know, it was an absolute. It shouldn't have even been on the internet, in my opinion. But Mike's getting me straight. So if you need a good website, hook up with Mike.
I'm not even going to comment on it.
I think too, you know, from a marketing perspective, one of the things that you said that's huge is don't waste money on things that don't work. And don't waste money. Make sure you're doing the stuff that is free to get your name out there before you invest a ton of money. Like I see these people investing thousands and thousands of dollars, and they're not doing the basic stuff that any person can do for free. Because I believe truly that word of mouth is still the number one marketing thing you can do. And going out there and doing that good job and handing out those business magnets. If you're still handing out paper business cards, get you a magnet, man. You know what are great about magnets? They stick to appliances. You know what paper business cards stick to? Nothing. That's what they stick to. They stick to the side of the trash can when your customer throws it away 3 months from now, cleaning out a junk drawer. But I go back to my customer's house and I see that it's funny because you can tell how old the customer is from me based on what magnet they have. It's like the evolution of my company, because it was the appliance guy. Then you'll see the Richmond appliance ones from my partner. Then you'll see Richmond appliance guys. And now we just got our new magnets made, and they have both companies on them. So that I'm pretty excited about that.
That's
we got Saul checking in. Good morning, sir. You can't be in this business and not care. You can, but you won't last long. Very true. You got to care. You got to care, and you got to actually go out there and show the people that you care. So I want to touch on this next one because it's something that we're big on in the Service Alliance group, and that's networking. If you are a one-man show and it's just you, the pros of networking they're astronomical. And I encourage everyone, whether you're a one-man show or a large company, to network locally and network via social media. But don't miss the local networking. And I'm not talking about just networking with appliance people. I'm talking about networking with business people in general. You never know what that relationship and what doors are going to be open for you with a simple introduction or a simple meeting that you had with somebody. A lot of these guys go to these BNI groups. I've been to a couple. People invite me to these networking groups, and I haven't joined any of them, but I've met some good people. I've met some good customers. I've got customers that use me to this day that I met through there. I've gotten good subcontractors, whether it be, HVAC or electrical or plumbing, but network with other service companies. Because here's the thing for me, especially if you're a one-man show and your main focus is appliance repair or electrical or whatever, have people in your network that do all those other things. When somebody calls calls my company, I want them to know that, hey, even if they have an HVAC problem, I got someone I can recommend to you. If you have a plumbing problem, I have someone I can recommend to you. And it's not just some jackleg that I got off Craigslist. It's an actual person that I trust, that I know will come out there. He's insured. He's a professional. He's going to do a good job and take care of you. And then if you're not using, obviously, if you're on the Service Alliance Group podcast, Morning Grind, you probably are already networking on social media. But we have all these wonderful communities set up. There's so many YouTube channels and Facebook groups and all these different LinkedIns and different stuff that you can get into for business networking. And make sure that that's something that you're doing and that you're listening more than you're talking, because there's a lot of smart people out there.
There's so much that you can learn from other industries and people in a multitude of industries. So, birds of a feather flock together, and, a lot of industry people flock together with industry people in that little community. Mm-hmm. I'd like to encourage everybody, branch out, because, birds of a feather are business owners of all kinds. And you can learn a lot from a lot of other business owners in a lot of other industries. I don't just hang out with, and communicate with only marketing people and web designers and SEO experts. I obviously talk to a multitude of industry owners. Variety is good when you're a business owner, because you can learn so much, from all these other people. They see things differently than you. They experience things differently than you. They can give you some insight that you never would have thought would be insight, or an angle that you've never even been at. And when someone's on the outside looking in, they see things so much more clearly than we can see them sometimes. So the waters aren't as muddied to them.
Yeah.
They are to us, when we're trying to figure things out.
Yeah. So, and a lot of the trials and tribulations of entrepreneurship are similar. Just because someone's in a different industry or a different type of service company or marketing or website or whatever, it doesn't mean they haven't been through some stuff that's similar to what you've been through. They have financial struggles, they have growth struggles, they have payroll struggles, they have customer struggles, all these different things. But get yourself around those people and listen and pick their brains and be a sponge, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
That brings us to one more point that we talked about before we went live, TK, is one of the next biggest mistakes is stopping or stalling your growth. And I'm not talking about scaling your company. I'm talking about personal growth for you as a business owner. When you stop growing and stop learning and stop developing, you stop being in business. That's the start of your demise.
Yep.
So always, always, always keep growing and never, never, never stop.
Yeah. Keep growing, keep learning, keep networking, keep on keeping on. Because you know what? I can tell when I'm on my game and when I'm not on my game. And when I get complacent and I just start going with the flow and not really caring, those are the worst times, Mm-hmm. But when I'm on my game and I'm getting up and early in the mornings and I'm getting prepared and I'm doing the things that I know I need to be doing and getting my good night's sleep and focusing on the things that are important in life, that's when I see the most growth. And not to say that the trials don't come during those times, because they absolutely do. But when they come, you're more prepared and you're more focused and you're more ready for those trials to come. When you're just complacent and going through the motions and that monkey wrench gets thrown into the plan, boy, let me tell you, it throws you all off.
I just thought of one more little, we'll call it a bonus
A nugget.
thing, a little nugget that we've all done. I don't know a business owner that has not done this, and it is the most frustrating thing that I know of for every business owner, and that's being too scatterbrained and thinking about too many things all at once, and it's like squirrel. And then you get distracted by the shiny things, you get distracted by the things that sound really good, or the what if we did this, or what if we did this, and it draws you out of the focus of what your core business is. And you need to know what that bubble is. And when you go outside of that bubble of your core business into those gray areas, that's when you should start having some real discernment on whether you should continue to be there, whether it's a good thing to be there, or whether it's just a distraction that's taking you away out of your focus. So like I've totally got I had a conversation just last week with a business owner, home service guy, and he's telling me, oh, and he was on a service call while he was on Zoom with me, and he's telling me, oh, I don't want to do this service business anymore. I don't, I want to do more like what you're doing, get into IT and the web development end of it and marketing end and everything. And I'm like, well, pick and choose, man. They're completely different things. Like, you may have an interest in this, but what's putting food on your table? Oh man, I'm broke right now. And I'm like, you're broke because you don't know what the heck you're wanting to do. Pick one, stick with it, make the money, put food on your table. You're getting distracted by all this stuff, so, and you keep changing your mind. And it was in his case, it was apparent. And I've realized after I hung up with him, I'm like, I've done that, maybe not to the extent that he is, but I've done that. So it's, you really need to focus on your core thing and keep it your core thing, because that's the only way that you get really, really good at it. When you're trying to do all these million different things, that's when you don't do any of them well. And that's been my personal experience, and I've seen every single business owner go through that at some point.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it's 1,000% true. And
Guilty.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm right there with EJ. I'm guilty of that because it's easy. Whatever you know is your thing, stick to it. If your thing is appliance repair, basic appliance repair, high-end appliance repair, commercial appliance repair, whatever it is, electrical, HVAC, plumbing, whatever your thing is, stick to it. I think we touched on this.
The main thing.
Keep the main thing the main thing. I'm guilty of it. I got a store now, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't think, man, was this a monumental mistake opening this store? We'll see. And I'm not saying, and I don't want you guys to take this wrong. As an entrepreneur, we often want to start other ventures and do different things. But keep the main thing the main thing. Whatever your bread and butter is, you don't want to neglect that. Appliance repair is my bread and butter. And I treat it accordingly. Everything else.
You opened the store, that was complimentary.
Yes.
That was completely complimentary, and it makes sense. You know,
Yeah.
when you're talking things that aren't complimentary, you own a service business, but you want to be in marketing, pick one.
Yeah.
You know, like you're not going to do either of them well if
Yeah.
you're doing both. I'm sorry. They are completely different industries. So that's just an example. And I actually see a lot of these guys out there, you know, these, as you call them, jacklegs in the
Yeah.
marketing industry. They also own service businesses, and they tout themselves as expert marketers.
Yep.
And it's like they are jacklegs. I'm going to look that up in Webster's dictionary. Jackleg.
Yeah.
It's
They're
got to
the
be in there. It's
They're
got to
the
be.
truck in the truck of marketing and SEO. That's what they are. Instead of a pickup truck, they use Facebook and social media to cruise around and pretend like they know what they're doing.
Yep.
Certain people might watch this and get offended, Mike. But hey, if the shoe fits. I mean, what are you trying to do? You trying to be a marketing expert, or you trying to be a service technician? I have zero interest in doing marketing.
I have something to add. Just so you know, jackleg is in the Webster's dictionary. I just looked it up. It is.
Can we hear the definition, please?
The definition is characterized by unscrupulousness, dishonesty, or lack of professional standards. So it fits with what you were saying. Lack skill or training. In other words, amateur. Design as a temporary expedient, makeshift. Huh. Interesting.
Makeshift.
So, jackleg. You're using a proper adjective.
Yeah, there you go.
I couldn't help myself.
That's good stuff. Well, let's wrap this thing up. But I got some service calls to run today, and some fires to put out.
All right. They're not fires.
They're just opportunities. They're opportunities.
They're opportunities. Yeah. Even a spark brings light.
That's right. All right. Love y'all.
All right, buddy. Well, I'm gonna say let's end this then.
We're going to end it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget that we are still running our promo code till the end of the spring, which that's coming soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Springtime 2023. Get you $100 off your all-access membership to the servicealliancegroup.com. You're going to get all of the SOPs and documents. You're going to get the text sheets. You're going to get the courses, the vendor programs, everything. So go over there and check it out. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you next time. Peace.
All right. See you guys later.